Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I am very excited to announce I have two new knife designs and they are immediately available for sale. I was very excited about this project months and months ago when the pandemic kind of first started. I was getting this ball rolling on this, but I want to keep it really kind of hush-hush because I had no idea, with everything going on, when these were actually going to be available. And now they are finally available. So these are two different knife designs that I came up with, and the whole idea behind these are just to be kind of fun and to be extremely affordable. The biggest goal here was to make these as cheap as possible because I wanted as many people to be able to try them as possible. So we're going to jump right into this and take a look at them. But first I want to put them back in the boxes here after using them a little bit and just show you how you would actually get it. So it comes in a nice presentation box. The small one here is called the Tank. All right, you can see my logo on the front and by Bastion on the bottom. Very cool, silver metallic over the black box. The other one here is the CLB1, and that is just for the simplicity of not having a name. So Cutlerylover Bastion #1. It's the first knife that I came up with, which I didn't just have a name off the top of my head. So I figured that's easy. It's almost just like a model number. So this way in the future, if I come up with another knife that I don't have a name for, I could just call it the CLB2 and so forth. All right, so first we're going to start off with the CLB1. All right, the idea behind this knife was to create a very simple, affordable EDC option. All right, so this is just a folder design that I like. It's medium sized. We have simple contoured G10 handle scales here. All right, you can see dual thumb studs. Shoots open very nicely. Has a great lockup. We have a full flat ground blade. Let me zoom in, show you a little more detail here. Let's get rid of those thumbprints though. So here's a closer shot of that blade. You can see the logo as well as the serial number underneath. These will be all numbered. There's only 250 made in the world. This one's number 51. I got just two random numbers for the samples. So both number 1 as well as number 250 are still available out there somewhere. It's just kind of, luck of the draw. I always thought those are the coolest ones to collect, the very first knife made in a series and of course the very last one. But anyway, as far as the blade profile goes, all right, it's a little bit of a drop point. It does come to a very nice acute point. All right, a lot of people do appreciate a very pointy blade, but the important part for me was having a curvature the entire length of the blade. All right, so it's going to aid in slicing. Coming down towards the handle, you can see we have decorative pivot hardware on both sides. All right, and by the way, on the back, you can see I do have my signature on the back of the blade, just to give it a little something. But the handle scales here are just some contoured plain black G10. All right, so there is a little bit of curvature, in the scale, as well as some cutouts, relief cuts for the finger choil. All right, you can see that is on both sides. All right, this is an open frame. You can see just one standoff on the back. All right, this is a liner lock. There is a small lanyard hole on the very bottom. If you look inside, the liners are actually drilled out just a little bit thicker than the scales. A lot of people aren't really, throwing lanyards on, especially more affordable knives these days. But the option is there, the small hole. I mean, you can probably squeeze some 550 through there, but if you wanted to, you can use that as a pilot hole to drill it out the same width as the liner to fit some 550 a little bit easier, if that's something that floats your boat. Just really simple design. All right, went with a wider pocket clip. All right, again, just as an aesthetic, it does actually function. Being wider, there's more gripping to your pocket there. There is good flex on here. All right, not too much of an issue of over extending that. It is good spring steel. All right, you can see that's attached with just 2 screws. It is set up for tip up right side carry. All right, did not have it drilled and tapped for the other side. It's not because I want to give lefties a hard time. It's simply because it costs more money. And part of the goal here was to make sure this is going to be as affordable as possible. And something as simple as just giving another option to carry does cost money. All right, unfortunately for lefties, most people out there are righty, and most people carry tip up. So that is the most popular position to have a pocket clip on here. But yeah, I mean, it's very simple, very comfortable. Again, 2 large finger choils, so your pointer finger wraps around there, middle finger wraps around there. All right, very rounded on the butt end, so regardless of the size of your hand, it should be very comfortable to handle. both in the regular forward grip as well as reverse grip. Just a simple all-around knife. Not a whole lot going on here. Just wanted to come up with my own design for an affordable EDC option. When I first got the prototype of this many months ago, it's worked out great. There hasn't really been too many changes. I mean, I liked it right out of the gate, which is pretty cool. The blade steel on this one was 5 CR15 MOV, and the reason for that, again, is just price. I had the choice between 5 CR15 and 3 CR13. Obviously, 5 CR15 MOV was the better of the two choices for the sub $40 price range. Now, just a quick little note on the 5 CR15 MOV. If you're not familiar, it is widely used in kitchen cutlery. It's actually just a Chinese copy of a very popular German kitchen knife steel, which is X50 CR MOV 15. All right, their composition is extremely close, and the whole purpose behind that is having a softer steel. It's good for, kitchen use. You're not going out there and cutting a lot of harder materials or cutting a lot of vegetables and meats and things. As long as you stay away from bone, it's totally fine. But as far as a knife steel, it is more affordable. Sub $40 knives, it's a pretty good choice. A lot of people do use it. The 5 CR15 MOV is very soft, all right, so it won't hold a fantastic edge, but the advantage there is it sharpens extremely easily. But the biggest factor there, obviously, was price. I'd love to put an awesome steel in here, but that just jacks the price up and less people are interested. The whole point behind this project, both of these knives, is just be affordable and fun. So this is the more practical of the two. Really love it. Again, after getting the prototype and using it, I just liked it. And this is the final product, just a simple medium-sized folder. So that will sell for 29 bucks on the website, and there's free shipping in the US. If you're an international buyer, you have to send them an email. It's all, the information's right there, on their website for that. Not sure about international shipping. Again, that would just depend, I guess, on specific countries. But if you're anywhere in America, 29 bucks to your door with free shipping. Of course, that's postal first class shipping. If you want something else, UPS, FedEx, whatever, they have different charges for that. But that is the CLB1, and I'm very happy with how that came out. So we put that in the background here, and we're going to talk about the tank. And the tank is a pretty cool concept, and when you see it, you'll pretty much understand right away why I called it the tank. All right, this was inspired by my dad's motorcycle. And, simply put, it looks like a motorcycle tank. I was working with my dad on his Harley. He was changing his air filter out and just hanging out with Dad. One of those father-son moments and stuff. And I was kind of, supporting the bike for him while he was tugging on something. And looking down at the tank, I thought, that's a pretty cool shape. It's basically a teardrop shape. There's been other knives that have, a similar look to it. But I like the idea. I like the idea for a small, quick, easy knife to use. And I wanted to have it small enough to be able to go on the keys. Now, not everyone likes, a knife on the key. And people who do carry knives on keys, I've seen everything from teeny tiny, which is way more practical, to something that's huge. It really kind of depends on your key setup. This is about the size of a, alarm key, okay, which is extremely common. So I'll zoom in a little bit here so we can get a better look at it. Again, simple G10 scales on here. There is no pocket clip. Again, the idea is to carry this on your keys or carry this in the fifth pocket on a pair of jeans or have this loose inside the pocket. I just thought because of its shape and size, it didn't need a pocket clip at all. Originally, the design did have a pocket clip, and I ditched the idea completely. I didn't like it. So on the bottom, we just have a large lanyard hole. All right, so again, you can throw on a regular lanyard, keep it loose in your pocket, or chuck it on the keys. So we can see we have a nail neck here, all right, and popping that out. You can see our blade, which is completely triangular. Now, looking at this knife, let me actually back it out a little bit here. The concept with this one is you can use it like this, all right? There's obviously a nice wide section above the pivot here to grab onto, and this is totally fine to use it, but I specifically designed this to be used choked up, just like this grip. And we'll call this the Bill Clinton grip because it always reminds me when Bill Clinton talks. He does that with his hand. Oh, I guess a lot of politicians do that. I don't know what this is. This is like, please trust me, even though I don't deserve your trust. But what I mean by that, the Clinton grip, let's call it, is you rest your pointer finger on the back part of that scale, all right, and it kind of tucks in really, really nice. It's very, very comfortable, again, with the teardrop shape, and then you rest your thumb on the front here. All right, sometimes even with larger knives, I'll grab a knife like this in this grip, you know, and that's when I come in, do kind of like some close cutting, or like, let's say I'm zipping open a box, especially with smaller knives. We'll go back to the tank. I just naturally grab it like that, you know, come in and just zip it open, you know. So that's kind of the purpose or the reasoning behind the shape here. Very, very comfortable, very simple to grab it like that, all right. The triangular blade, obviously, you know, fits in the teardrop handle very nicely. It's just awesome. Very fine point in this as well, but unlike the completely curved blade, this has a completely straight edge blade. All right, very easy to sharpen. This is a liner lock. It locks up fantastic. There is no blade play in either of these knives. All right, has a very strong D10 as well. You can hear that dink, and even when I pull it out. So again, with the idea that this might be carried on the keys, you absolutely do not want this to be able to accidentally open, okay? That's why there's no thumb stud flip or anything like that. You want this to be able to be rubbed and touched and dropped and all that kind of stuff without accidentally opening. Again, if it's loose in the pocket, you do not want it to open for safety. If it's hanging on the keys, bumping things, you know, throw it on the table, throw it on, you know, at work or whatever, you do not want it to accidentally open, okay? So that's why I went with this specific design. So you do have the nail nick, all right? You can open this with one hand, and I've done a lot of practice with this as well. Obviously, if you get this, you'd have to need a little bit of practice. But the nail nick is only on one side, so with the right hand, you would put it upside down like this, use your thumbnail, okay, to just pop that out a little. Once you have that, you can spin the grip around, all right, and then you can ride it all the way out. So it is one hand operable, although, you know, a little awkward, but it's definitely, you know, a possibility in case that's something that you definitely need in your knife, all right? But I would just recommend grabbing it with two hands. This one, just like the other one, has the logo on the front, and this is also limited to only 250. This one is number 32, all right? And on the back, same thing. I have my signature on there. And it's a really simple design. That's pretty much it. Same deal. There's one standoff, all right, towards the back here, and some simple G10 scales. There is a little bit of grip on this, unlike the contoured smooth G10 that's on here. Okay, you can see this is obviously layered, and those contour, the layering shows. So this is way smoother, totally different feel than this one, which is more textured and grippy. All right, but again, this is just kind of that, like, up close, zip it open, and be done with it. So the idea behind the tank is, again, just to be different. That's all it is. There's not anything like this that I know of. I mean, there's other smaller knives. There's knives with, you know, triangular type blades, but nothing off the top of my head is anything exactly like this. I just want something small, totally different, totally new, but extremely functional. And that's what I got with the tank. All right, just awesome for zipping open boxes. So yeah, that is the two new collabs with Bastion Gear, the tank and the CLB1. Awesome options, 29 bucks, free shipping in the US. Hard to beat, 250 each. Again, once they're gone, they are gone. I can't tell you how many messages I got from people from the last knife, which was way more expensive. It was a whole different thing for a different type of knife person. This is just about being fun, but still being very practical, but just really focused on being affordable. There are certain things I would change, certain things I would do. Again, ideally, I'd like to have this be available for tip up, tip down, left, right hand carry. I know lefties out there are going to be, you know, kind of bummed. Still went with a ambidextrous thumb stud, even though it's not, you know, lefty carry friendly, but that just adds cost. You know what I mean? The 5 CR15 MOV is going to be totally adequate for that $29 price tag. Of course, I love something better, something that's going to hold an edge a little longer. But if you're able to sharpen your knives, no problem whatsoever. The curved blade on here obviously could be a little bit harder to sharpen for someone who's new to it. On the tank, that plain edge blade will be really simple. You know, imagine this is your sharpening stone. I mean, you're just going to be following that straight edge. Okay, unlike the CLB1, where you're going to be moving, you know, as you're using your block, you're moving with that curvature. Okay, which is going to be a little bit harder for some people. But yeah, as long as you have a little bit of sharpening experience or use a system of some kind, They are extremely easy to put an edge back on, but obviously, like all knives, regardless of the steel, I would always recommend using a strop. Okay, so you don't have to sharpen, you can just keep maintaining that nice sharp edge. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 new knives, very proud of them, very excited about them. And like I said, they are immediately available. I'll put links down in the description box. If you're interested, check it out while they're there. As far as shipping by Christmas, there's no guarantee for anything. It's obviously late in the month right now, and shipping's been nuts. But who knows? If you get them today or tomorrow, whatever, maybe they do arrive by Christmas for gifts and stuff. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. I really want to thank everyone and anyone who is interested in these knives and is going to pick one up. It does support the channel a little bit, which is greatly appreciated. So that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy these knives. I'm very, very excited about it. Like I said, I've been using these on and off for a couple months now, and I love the design. It's just something a little different, but extremely practical, and now extremely affordable. Who knows what I'll come up with next, but like I said, if you're interested, don't hesitate, because once these are gone, they're gone. That's it. So that's it for now, guys. Hopefully you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.